Happy New Year! This is probably the first video that's going to go up from me in 2021, which kind of sucks, because it's been 2021 for a couple of weeks now. But much like a lot of people, I think, the start of 2021 wasn't perfect, but here we are. So I've been trying to think of what I can do for a video, because I've been a bit void of ideas, and with everything that kind of happened last year and the start of this year kind of being the same as the end of last year, I've kind of missed home a lot, and I've missed the important people a lot, mainly my brother, who was supposed to have been over here on a couple of occasions by now, but obviously didn't work out. So I thought one thing I could do, if you're someone like me, whose kind of way to your heart is through your greedy, ever-growing belly, I could go around and try and find some places where I can get some kind of British comfort foods or snacks, because it always kind of makes you feel a bit more close to home, I think. Also, this isn't a daily vlog. It will never be a daily vlog, but I do know a lot of people that do daily vlogs, do the whole ask me anything, sit down Q&A thing, and whilst they're super interesting for the people that you follow who do a daily vlog, that's never going to happen with me, because I'm too kind of dull to talk about my day-to-day life. But one question I do get asked more than once every week without fail is like, why are you in Florida? And that is one question I probably can try and answer really quickly. So I'm just going to drink my iced coffee and this delicious cheese Danish with fresh fruit. Oh, by the way, I'm at La Rosalie French Cafe in downtown Winter Garden, and it's definitely the best cafe in Winter Garden. Now, I would argue with most people that it's one of the best around, like, the entire area. It's delicious. So elegant. Oh, it's so good. But yeah, I'm going to eat this cheese Danish, drink this iced coffee, enjoy just people watching for a minute, and then I'll try and answer the question of how Chris got lost in Florida. Cheers. Okay, let's see if I can do this without boring everyone too much. A child of the 80s, born in London. I got love for you if you were born in the 80s. Roehampton Hospital, to be precise. Initially, I lived with my mum and dad in a very humble flat above a Ladbrokes betting shop. My dad worked for Ladbrokes as a district manager. So a couple of years after I was born, we actually moved to the northeast of England to Washington, where I had this bike helmet. Dad's job changed again, so back down to London, and then surrounding areas of London, where I went to middle school and then secondary school. School, for the most part, was fine. I was okay at it, up until the last 2 years of secondary school, where I was bullied mercilessly, and I hated it, to the point where I would just skip as much school as possible. I guess it was during that time that I really started to romanticize with the thought of going places where nobody knew me, and I was just a stranger in a new place all the time. The desire to see as much of the world as possible kicked in. Looking back on it, having parents that would let you wear those glasses in public and pose for school photos with an owl on your shoulder, like Harry Potter, that crapped on me, by the way, didn't really help. So after secondary school, I went to music school. And that noise you can hear in the background is music I wrote when I was probably 19, 20, something like that. In order to support my aspirations of being a musician, I needed money. So I took a job as an IT help desk analyst for a while, and then I panicked thinking this is the rest of my life. So one day I quit, and then I moved to Canada to work in the ski industry. I took my responsibilities as a ski professional very seriously, and Matt came to spend some time with me, which was epic. Pretty much any part of my life that's worth remembering involves Matt, whether it's him coming to stay with me when I lived in Canada, or coming to live with me when he graduated university, numerous trips out to Vegas, countless concerts, or any number of the things we've gotten up to that I definitely can't mention here. He's always been a part of it. With the dream of being the next Kurt Cobain officially dead, I decided it was time to earn some money. So I moved back to London to start a proper career. A career that, although I worked extremely hard at, moreover I was just very fortunate to get. It enabled me to see so much of the world. From London to Kuala Lumpur to China, and then ultimately moving permanently from London to Spain, initially in Madrid, and then on to Barcelona. Advice I would give to 15-year-old me who thought it was super cool: don't turn up to your passport photo stoned. It doesn't look good. I'll always look back on my time in Barcelona as some of the greatest moments of my life, in large part again because Matt came to join me. And then one day, Matt went to Spanish class, and he met a girl, and fast forward to 2017, he married that girl in Canada. Getting to be best man at his wedding is without question one of the proudest moments of my life. It became clear that it was like an official end of a chapter of everything we had been to that point. So it was something that was pretty difficult to deal with. Absolutely banging wedded though. So back to Barcelona. My time there was almost up. The company I was working for purchased a company in Austin, Texas, and they sponsored me a visa for 2 years to go there and work. So I moved to America. I knew nobody except the director of the company. I made some friends, many social events dateless, fired some guns. Then one day I met a girl, and we ended up spending the day by this very swimming pool, went on a date, went on another date, gave me a list of epic sex movies that we should watch. The big guy came out and met her, we partied, rode some horses, came to England and rode a boat at Lake Windermere, and then got scared by a grass snake, and we're still hanging out now. Finally we end up in Florida, home of the mouse. Orlando was the first place Jen and I ever took a proper vacation together. We had no idea what we were doing. We thought we were the two coolest kids out here because we bought our park passes and wore them around our necks in a lanyard, not realizing that everyone else was wearing something called a magic band, and we were in fact the two biggest losers. So we just kept coming, and we loved it. So in March of 2020, I drove on my own from Austin down to Florida with a U-Haul of a ton of our stuff. Jen very kindly went online and booked me a room at the Margaritaville Resort in Pensacola Beach, Florida, where I stopped overnight. I took that robe, and I'm pretty sure they didn't charge me for it. I started an Instagram account in March, we adopted Luna, we grew the team, did a few things, including jumping out of a plane. There was a lot of politics, you might call it that, a pandemic, a US election. Yeah, that's how Chris got lost in Florida. Okay, so as is par for the course with Chris these days, something goes wrong. Always my own doing. I left the house thinking I was all ready to go and do this filming, and I left my Red Bull and my canteen of water on the island, and I'm now closer to a Publix supermarket than I am to home. So I am going to take a quick detour into Publix to buy a Red Bull and a bottle of water. Oh, you know what? Why I'm actually in here, in line with this I miss British foods. Publix usually have an international foods aisle, and there's usually a small British food section. So quickly look at that. You can see a few things like biscuits, cookies, Branston pickles, jammy Dodgers. They only have a small selection, and obviously you're gonna pay for it. Marmite for a jar is $5.89, which is criminal. Nearly $4 for a packet of digestive biscuits. So yeah, I mean, if you're British and you're in Florida and you might be staying in a villa, Publix, most of them do have an international food section with British foods, but you're gonna pay a lot for it. Just bring Marmite with you, or tea bags. Okay, a manager just told me I'm not allowed to film in here because it's private property, so I'm gonna have to turn this off. Kind of ironic though, when the store's called Publix. Okay, so I found a place that I'm quite intrigued by.
It's called the Best of British Cafe, and it's in, where are you, Chris? Davenport. It's about a 20-minute drive from the Disney area. This really busy road behind me is 27. So for reference, it's 27 and Davenport. And it's called the Best of British Cafe. And from what I can tell, it sells a lot of British foods, chocolates and fruit juices and just things from Britain. But it also serves food in there. It's like a cafe, and it serves English breakfast, just British foods in general, which I'm quite excited about. From the outside, it is very no frills, which appeals to me a lot, really, because I often find that the places that look less from the outside are way better inside. This is all one building, and the pub, it has a bar in there. Apparently it shows live British TV and sports, so we're going there. But I also read that here, next door, yeah, I think the same people own this, I'll ask, but this is going to open soon, I guess. It's called The Chippy, and it's going to be an authentic British chip shop. Here is the menu that they're going to have. So they're going to have chips, not fries, America, chips. They're fish, pies, mince and onion, steak and Guinness, meat, potato, cheese and onion. What else? Sausage, all battered sausages, all the good stuff. Oh, doner kebab. Okay, so I don't know when this is opening, but I'm pretty sure it's owned by the same people that own the Best of British Cafe. So I'm going to go in and check it out. But pretty promising from the outside. So cool. It's got a very like cafe vibe. Karaoke, there's a stage over here. They have karaoke and live music. Sky Sports showing very British references. Football scarves. Never ever ever. So this area is called the Corner Shop. And this is one of the most exciting discoveries I've made in some time. But it has everything that I've really been missing, but also so much that I hadn't thought about in so long.
Don't know how much you mean to me, baby. I can't put it in words. You don't know how much you give to me, baby.
I mean, okay, if you're British, you already know that this is trash and you never need to buy it. If you're American, this is trash, never buy it. Fruit gums and pastels, one of my favorite chocolate bars, Crunchy Rocks. Didn't even know they existed. All of this Cadbury's chocolate is imported, so it's actually like proper Cadbury's. What else have we got over here? Baked beans, standard. Bachelor's beans. Again, if you're American and you want to try British food, always Heinz. Meh. Bachelor's mushy peas though, recommend those. And then we got fruit squashes, tea cakes, Cadbury's hot chocolate, some jam, lemon curd. Not really sure if anyone still eats that. Holiday Street, Rich tea biscuits, Jacob's cream crackers, digestives. You got your teas. Again, if you're American and you want to try some sort of everyday British tea, don't get this. Get Yorkshire tea. I'm a southerner, but Yorkshire tea is the way forward. Very stereotypically British things. Oh my goodness, sandwich spread. I didn't even know they still made this. What's in sandwich spread? Vinegar, sugar, cabbage, carrots, gherkins, which are pickles for our American friends. Pretty gross. Used to have that as a kid when I went to secondary school or high school. Pickled onions, HP sauce, pot noodles. Particularly excited about these. We'll be taking some of these home. Vegemite and Marmite, again for Americans, very, very similar. Yeast extract, put it on toast and things like that. Vegemite's an Australian brand, Marmite's the British one, but they're very, very similar. Commons mustard, dried peas, oof. Lyle's golden syrup, probably gonna get some of that. Weetabix, curry sauces. Yeah, I mean, this place has everything. And then there's a freezer, and in the freezer there's, just open this, they've got meat pies. So they've got beef and onion pies, they got steak and kidney pies, Arctic roll. I don't think I've had that since like 1991. They've actually got crumpets. You can't buy proper British crumpets anywhere here. I've never found them, but they have, they're frozen, so I'm gonna take some of these home. Okay, so this place is epic. If you're a Brit, come here. It's super accessible from the Disney area, from Kissimmee area. Like if you have a car or even get an Uber out here. I've just ordered a full English breakfast. I've got myself a pot of Yorkshire tea, and it's just great. They have FA Cup football is on live at the moment. They show all the football. They have karaoke here. They have live music. They have like a shop section. Again, I'll film all this. The price is obviously higher than Britain, but not outrageous. They even have frozen crumpets in the freezer. I haven't had crumpets forever. I'm so happy. I didn't know this place existed until I started Googling places the other day. The owners obviously are British, from the northeast of England. There's people here that work here from Hull. Such lovely people. They excited me. We've just been chatting, and they have like a proper English curry night every so often. So you know that British people eat Indian food in this area, and we will say, oh, it was okay, but it's never good. But they have a chef come in, take over the kitchen, do like a proper English Indian, what? Heinz baked beans, mushrooms, proper British bacon, 2 fried eggs, plum tomatoes, and a couple of, I think, Lincolnshire sausages. It looks amazing. Sausage, some baked beans on there. Oh. It's epic. It tastes 100% like a proper full English breakfast from England, Britain. Okay, things are escalating quickly. Full English, amazing. Yorkshire tea, felt like being at home again. And they told me that their desserts are really good, so I ordered 2 desserts. Spotted Dick and custard. I think I'm as happy right now as I was when I jumped out of the plane. If you haven't seen me jump out of a plane, go back, doing that YouTube thing again. I also ordered the bread pudding thinking they'd both be kind of small. This is the bread pudding with more custard. Yes. So yeah, the plan was to kind of find a few British places, make myself feel a little bit less homesick and eat some food. But this is the first place I came. I've been here a couple of hours now, and I really don't feel like I need to go anywhere else today, so I'm just going to kind of pivot and not go somewhere else today. It has all the food and condiments that I was looking for, that I missed, that I can take home. But more importantly than any of that, the people that run this place are so nice. They're really friendly, very welcoming. The FA Cup is on TV. They have Sky Sports. The FA Cup's on TV. It's Sunderland versus Hull at the moment. It's 1-1. So I think I'm just gonna not go anywhere else today. There's other British places around that I've heard are very good that I will venture to and might film. I don't know. But sometimes you just kind of go with it, and it feels good to stay here and chill out. And very un-British of me not to watch some football and have a pint or 2. Really good food for someone like me that's missing home quite a lot at the moment. So if you're in Florida, if you live in Florida and you're British, you probably already know about this place. I'm very slow on the uptake, clearly. But if you're coming here and you just fancy going somewhere that feels local, quiz night, curry night, anything like that, couldn't recommend it highly enough. This might be the end of this video.